Position previews continue, this time interior defensive line on orange and blue today. Cecil, Lammey, Andrew Mason here to talk about Zach Allen and co. Now that co is pretty good, and it's different with a couple of additions from last year to this year to help out Zach Allen and co.
Yes, needed the help desperately, because when you look at all that went wrong for the Broncos defending the run last year, what I think of is too many times watching defensive linemen get singled up by opposing offensive linemen, seeing, a center take out DJ Jones or Mike Purcell. And when you have the O lineman taking out the D lineman one-on-one, then the spares, if it's a guard who's not blocking anybody, not engaged, a guard takes on inside linebacker, and all of a sudden you got wide open space in the box. I still have occasional nightmarish flashbacks about all the gaps that Breece Hall had for the Jets in that game in Week 5. So that's why, amid all the moves, one of the first moves the Broncos made was to sign Malcolm Roach. At the draft, they traded for John Franklin Myers. Malcolm Roach, by the Pro Football Focus Analytics, one of the best run defenders in football last year. We haven't seen that manifest quite yet because the pads haven't been on, but we've seen him bring energy, a spirited demeanor, to a group that I think really needed some of that as well. And so now Zach Allen's looking around. He's seeing Malcolm Roach, John Franklin Myers acquired from the Jets in a draft day trade, giving you another nice interior pass rusher. And then you even see some of the depth pieces like Matt Henningsen making some plays in the pass rush during OTAs. Henningsen talked to me about how that was his area of emphasis that he wanted to improve on over the offseason. It looks like he has. So now a group that was a liability, and I haven't even mentioned DJ Jones coming back.
Right.
It looks deeper. It looks like you can go pretty deep into that rotation. It looks like you've got more quality and depth there than you had last year. And it looks like a situation where you're going to see more doubles consumed by the guys on the interior, freeing up other players to make plays against the run. Again, I think this is the most improved unit on the team right now.
Well, and I feel bad for DJ Jones because Broncos fans haven't seen the best of DJ Jones. And if you want to say, I'm not going to say, as some have, like he takes plays off. I don't necessarily believe that. I do believe he runs out of gas. That big man runs out of gas. But now you got guys to help keep everybody fresh.
Yeah.
Charged up, fueled up, ready to go. And that includes DJ Jones. Not really the forgotten man, but Mace, I still stand by. No Broncos fan has seen the real DJ Jones.
Well, the ideal DJ Jones, maybe at this point here on his, here as he winds through his career, what's the ideal snap count in a game for DJ Jones at this point? I'll ask you this.
Let's put it at 30. If we're going to assume 60 plus offensive snaps, let's put him by half that.
29 years of age, year 8, but somebody who carries a lot of weight on that 6-foot frame.
Yes, he does.
Look, it's one of the things that's part and parcel when your weight is nudging into the 330s when you're a big guy. The joints weren't meant to handle that, so it's good. You got to limit the stress on them. Can you get, I was even going to say 25. Can you get 25 good snaps out of DJ Jones next year or this coming season? If you can, you're feeling pretty good. Now I'm just going to read some of the snap counts for DJ Jones over the last 6 games of the season. 42, 43, 35, 39, 37, 35. If you want to get most out of DJ Jones, that's not ideal. And I think now when you look at JFM and Malcolm Roach coming in, and if Matt Henningsen can just get, if that pass rush improvement manifests itself in what he can do out there on the field, Henningson's kind of the guy who can kind of clean up. If someone else gets doubled, he can make a play. He's that classic plugger type. Now you've actually got a mix that you can work with, and we haven't even talked about the possible return of Eni Uwazurike from a gambling suspension, who, if he can figure things out, is a very intriguing interior pass rush prospect.
Yes, you've got a lot of different talents, different body types, and different possibilities for Vance Joseph to use. But Zach Allen told you something. It was about a month ago, roughly.
Yeah.
Month ago. Coors Field, you were there. Zach Allen talked about simplifying things. Here's what Zach had to say.
Awesome. It's the best. Yeah. I mean, we play now in attack style, simple, only a few calls, and that's all you can ask for. Especially as a guy up front, that's my successful years in Arizona with VJ. That's kind of how we played, and that's the way I think that football is meant to be played. So the fact that we're making those steps is awesome. Jamar's been awesome too with the D-line, kind of playing that attack style. So it's been great.
And as Zach Allen also said that night, it's more like the defense that Vance Joseph prefers to run. Of course, Zach Allen's only defensive coordinator has been Vance Joseph, because VJ was down in Arizona the year they drafted Zach Allen, and then in the big free agent splash of March 2023, VJ, defensive coordinator, got Zach Allen to Denver. So I think this is interesting because you and I have talked about, where things stand for DJ. Is his seat warming up a little bit? What I see right now is, if the seat is warming, VJ is going to do things his way rather than trying to adapt to things conceptually from the Vic Fangio, Ejiro Evero defenses of 2019 through 2022. Last year, kind of a Frankenstein's monster mishmash. I feel like this year there's more clarity. Zach Allen's not the only guy who's talking about things being simpler on defense, but I think it has a more profound effect up front where, like Zach says, you get to attack.
Yes, and if you're going to go out with a smile, go out in style, and go out your way, and that's what VJ's doing, and he's doing it with better talent. So essentially what he's doing is trusting the talent to make those plays, and that's a positive thing. That's why the defense can take further strides than some people will think. Oh, the defense, whatever. Like, no, the defense could be a nice. I'm gonna get you to 9, Mace. And part of the way I can get you to 9 is this defense a little more free flowing, attacking, aggressive.
You get me a 9. You're trying to get me to 9 times.
9 times. That's right.
Yes.
One of the talents that is out there is John Franklin Myers. Amazing. When they get this trade done, they make the move, they get the deal. And seeing him out there, we've talked about it on previous shows, recapping our mini camp coverage from a month ago. It was like, oh my God, JFM was making plays like all over the field. He said, talked to earlier this offseason about adjusting. Here's what Franklin Myers said.
Yeah, and I had an idea. And I played in the 4-3 front for 5 years or whatever, 4 years now. So it was a little different, just because you don't know how somebody's going to play you. But once I talked to him and understood what the assignment was, then I'm on board and I'm locked in, and a chance to grow as a person and as a football player and as a teammate. I mean, I can't pass that up.
Chance to grow. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And pretty solid player for the Jets the last couple of years. Salary cap casualty, which is why the Broncos were able to make that day 3 draft trade and basically get him for pennies on the dollar. And then they restructured the contract to get that 2024 number down. So you're looking at JFM probably being at least a 2-year guy here in Denver. Not a 1-year rental.
Right.
A plus player in the pass rush. So now you've got some intriguing possibilities here. If you go 2 down lineman sub package and you have Zach Allen and JFM as the pass rushers playing off each other, maybe freeing some things up for the guys working on the edge as well. maybe even you tweak it and you add a pass rush on the interior at inside linebacker, and you go for some more NASCAR packages here. But there are some ways where even if you just go Alex Singleton and inside, Nick Bonito, Baron Browning on the edge, JFM and Zach Allen on the interior, that's a pretty good 5-man attack on an opposing quarterback. And I think also you can even get home without blitzing with 4 guys, and that'll start by working from the inside out. And that's where I think JFM working with Zach Allen could be really valuable. Remember, if I'm not saying you have to have someone like JJ Watt next to Zach Allen. Of course, that's who was opposite him in Arizona, and Watt was really healthy in 2022, and that was part of Zach Allen's best year. But if you have someone like JFM who's good enough to be able to stack some moves, generate some pressure, and set up some one-on-ones for Zach Allen on the interior, he's got a chance to have a big year.
Yeah, don't rush, don't blitz, get pressure without blitzing. And then I go back to what we talked about in the linebacker show. Help stuff the run, because you look at the AFC West. AFC West, oh my God, so tough. Yeah, with tight ends. Sure, I get it. But guess what? You got to face Isaiah Pacheco. You got to face Zamir White. And then any combination of what the Chargers have, because if Gus Edwards is healthy, Gus Bus going to run you over. They got J.K. Dobbins if he's ever healthy and does what he was supposed to do in Baltimore. So it's like you have a division that has some really talented running backs. These guys up front, they got to stop them.
A division of talented running backs and plenty on the schedule. And if you stood pat based on what you had last year, that was nightmare fuel. Because holy cow, what a mess it was last year. But you didn't stand pat. You're feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good about the pass rush, and you're feeling pretty good about Malcolm Roach coming in and helping that against the run too.
Right. What's the word you used to describe him earlier? Because I was laughing. I should have written it down. But you didn't say vociferous, but like, an engaging and energetic vocal.
Oh, man.
He'll blankety blank you on the field. He's gonna make plays. He's gonna celebrate. He's gonna tell you about it. Like, I mean, could become a fan favorite with his energy.
I was just thinking, he's a little bit like Jack Black's character in High Fidelity.
Oh my God.
Remember, like, he brings in the mixtape and he's like, I thought it'd be a conversation stimulator. He's a galvanizing force, is Malcolm Roach. Galvanizing force in terms of what he does on the field, especially against the run. But we've even seen some plays in pass rush as well during OTAs and minicamp. But also his personality. He's got a big personality that his teammates are gravitating towards.
Yes, like John Franklin Myers, who talked about his new buddy, Malcolm Roach.
Yeah, Malcolm is a guy who I train with. So, just familiar with him, a guy who I have a lot of respect for in the run game and the pass game. So understand him and got a chance to go out there and, line up next to him a few times and just trying to learn to play off each other, learn how to, how he operates. But a guy who brings the energy and, you got to be thankful for that.
Guy who brings the energy.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Pure energy. I want to
energy.
know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
Oh, geez. It's a lot, that's for sure. And with Roach out there, I mean, rejuvenated, revamped, re-energized, whatever you want to use for this group. It's a fun look, a fun conversation. We haven't even talked about one of our sneaky favorites from a year ago, Elijah Garcia.
Yes.
Who now gets pushed down the depth chart because they've added so much talent. So it's like, man, Henningsen can make plays. Henningsen looks like a little Zach Allen. Like he mimics Zach Allen with his play. Yes. He's just a smaller version. Elijah Garcia, larger player, good player.
Yeah, smaller version and a little more stout in terms of build as Matt Henningsen. It's funny. He and I talked about the simplicity of the defense compared to last year, and it's like, and I said, hey, it's really interesting to talk about this with somebody, that's got the mind that you do. I mean, Matt Henningson's probably the smartest guy on the team, but they're all loving not having to think and be able to just play and attack.
Right.
And I think that can help Elijah Garcia as well. It was interesting. I mean, we saw Elijah Garcia get a sack and then barely heard from again, but he's got reach, he's got length, and he's got some pass rush moves. And so, we talk about Awazarike, but Awazarike may have to beat out Elijah Garcia for that 6th spot potentially, in terms of how you're going to construct that room. But it's a group that you feel better about. I felt like last year there wasn't enough depth to where you had questions, and like you didn't feel like you were going to make a cut that hurt, right?
Right.
You might be making a cut that hurts based on the depth in the room. And I'll tell you what, as you think about it, not to be down on DJ Jones, but he still gets you a significant cap savings if you cut him. And so if Henningson steps up, if Awazarike is in the mix, if Garcia makes some plays this summer, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if DJ Jones becomes a bubble player. Again, part of it is the cap savings that you'd have from moving on from him.
Yeah, and that's why I don't think anyone should have any hubris in terms of like, I know this guy's going to make the roster. No, we don't.
Yeah.
And that goes back, maybe it's stuck in my mind. Maybe it shouldn't be, Mace, but it goes back to the PFF number 32 roster. Like, last year we could do the 53. A year ago we could have done the 53. Like right now. A year ago right now we could have done the 53. Right now, I don't know if DJ Jones is making the team. I don't know if Javonte is making the team. Like, I don't know. They got a lot of talent.
I've got 3 Sharpie guys on the defensive line, and DJ Jones isn't one of them. I think you can put Zach Allen in Sharpie. You can put JFM in Sharpie. You can put Malcolm Roach in Sharpie.
Okay.
I'm not sure about anybody else.
Well, we're sure they've got talent on the defensive line, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
That's a good thing for this team because they need the defensive line to step up in a big, big way. We need y'all to step up. And how can they do that on YouTube, Mace?
Like,
comment,
share,
subscribe,
hit that notification bell
so that you
never
miss a vid. That's right. He's Andrew Mason. You follow him on all the socials at Mace Denver. I'm at Cecil Lammey saying OBT's BFD. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. And would you please stay frosty?